We're live.
Hello! Welcome, everyone, to a Werewolf the Apocalypse game that I'm going to be running. And with me are my wonderful players, starting with Jeremy.
Oh, I'm starting off. Okay.
Yes.
I'm Jeremy.
I am.
That's totally fine. I'm Jeremy. I am playing Afa, daughter of Hecate, and she is a Fianna Hamid Third. Hamid Fianna Third.
Yeah. And Julia?
Hi, I'm Julia, and I will be playing Dapple, the Lupus Black Fury Galliard.
And Holly?
Hi, I'm Holly, and I will be playing Juniper, the Metis Philodox Stargazer.
And last but not least, William Orshani.
Hi, I am William Orshani, and I am playing Eileen Baird, also known as Smoke, the Hamid Shadow Lord Ragabash.
And
current unwilling alpha of this pack.
Unwilling alpha. Eventually, they will have a new alpha.
Kind of willing.
Yeah, is the type of person who should be an alpha, but we're starting a little bit earlier in this pack's formation, about 1 or 2 weeks after it forms. So
Yes.
really just sort of raw, like a raw lump of dough. We'll see what it turns into. But first, we're going to say the way we always do, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are humans' rights. And if you get creeped out by this story, which I hope you do because I intend to make it creepy,
Yes.
please go take care of yourself and turn this off and go pet a puppy. These are not puppies. These are werewolves. Don't pet them. Unless they ask you to, in which case, be careful petting them.
Because it might be a trap.
Exactly.
You might smell of the worm.
Mm-hmm. That's really a thing you have to look into your heart and discern for yourself. Just sort of take some time to know whether or not you are of the worm.
Also, really, if a dog is telling you to pet it, then be concerned because the dog should not be talking to you. That's how we
Yes.
get Sons of Sam.
I do not know that one. I assume that's a World of Darkness.
No, the
deep
Son of
lore.
Sam is a
that is-
real-life
No?
serial killer who
This is
listened
a-
to his dog.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I've learned
his
something
neighbor-
new.
His neighbor's dog.
Correction,
Wow.
yes.
Okay,
Told
I've
him to
learned
go
something
kill
new. This is an educational show by a very, very
Very slim margin.
slim margin, very basic definition. It is technically educational.
For some value of education.
Exactly. But we are going to set the scene by I'm going to welcome you to the greatest city in the world, London, the center of the British Empire.
Greatest, asterisk, the greatest city in the world according to people from London.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But that's any city though.
Mhm.
That's any city that everybody recognizes the greatest city of the world.
Yep. From a few scattered cairns along a river long ago to a bustling metropolis full of gas lamps, horses, the sounds of clapping of horses' hooves, the hiss of steam engines, and the buzz of electricity as the first indoor electrified building in the city is the newly built Savoy Hotel, which just sits a few blocks from terrible slums. This is a city of contrasts. It is also a city of monsters. These monsters are the ones we're going to be introducing you to today. These are your guru. You've got the Silver Lords, rightfully, of course, ruling
Silver Fangs.
their
Silver
city.
Fangs.
Silver Fangs, thank you. Shadow Lords are the other one. I always mix those two up for some reason.
They associated
Fair.
a lot.
Well, they
Yeah.
fight for control with the Fienna and the Iron Riders, the forerunners to the Glasswalkers, rapidly make their ascent. But we're not worried about the high-level politics today. We're worried about the low-level politics, which is to say gossip and interpersonal relationships. Which is...
As all good games are.
Exactly.
The best politics.
Yeah. Which is to say we're going to be following a newly formed little pack called the Dark and Stormy, named after a drink, which was invented by one of its members. She'll probably tell you about it at some point. But we're picking up on this night in early February. It is cold. It is drizzly, of course. The gas lamps are sputtering as the city rapidly hurtles toward nightfall. And outside of a small theater in Stepney, a omnibus stops with some whinnying from some horses, and some folks get out. My question is, it's about 1 hour before the start of a performance by one Josiah Dendy. Josiah Dendy is a spiritualist figure, a medium, a wonder worker, some might say, who is putting on a performance. We see as sort of a crowd of people goes by a pasted, like wheat pasted on poster advertising Josiah Dendy's encounter with the beyond. Underneath in bold text it says, "Wonder, spirits, be amazed. Scientifically tested by the best minds in New York City. Encounter beyond the veil." There is a portrait of a white man in a very nice suit holding a skull, just sort of like contemplating it. From that skull are twists and swirls of smoke that become angelic and demonic forms cavorting around the outside edges of the poster. And along the bottom, there are what might be you if you were here, a line of curious onlookers sitting in seats in the front of a theater, enraptured by the show they are about to see. My question for you all is, the introduction of your group to this particular situation was 3 hours earlier, when a Shadow Lord showed up on your doorstep. Whose doorstep would they be going to, do we think? Someone's technically in charge of this pack, but there's, some other people it could show up to.
I feel like anyone else would not open the door if a Shadow Lord showed up. So it probably still...
Afa would, because Afa will open her door to pretty much anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But it does really make sense that the Shadow Lord goes and talks to the Shadow Lord and says, "Hey, get your pack on this," if that's what the plan is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So probably Smoke.
All right, so we're going to flash back real quick to a knock, knock, knock on your door.
Eileen, not quite being used to anyone knowing exactly where she's at in the city at any given time.
This is true.
Starts to approach the door and just grabs the shotgun that's sitting by the wall, by the door.
Okay.
And just kind of checks it, makes sure it's loaded, clicks it shut, shoulders it, and goes to check the view hole to see who is on the other side.
Okay. You see a large looking man. He looks kind of like he's checking his watch every so often, if you let him like linger there on the doorstep. But The like your senses are very finely tuned, and besides just looking through the peephole, you also take a big sniff, probably, because this is another way to tell should I open this door or not. And you get that telltale scent of a fellow guru, which you haven't encountered too many so far in your time in the city. It hasn't been long.
Kind of sniffs. Keeps the shotgun lowered out of sight behind the door, and then uses her left hand to open the door and sort of lean out of it.
Okay. Who do we see leaning out of the door then? For our viewers.
Yeah. So as the door opens and the camera sort of shows perspective of the person on the other side, you see a relatively pale woman. Doesn't see like a dramatic amount of sun on account of her job being mostly more active at night. Hair tied up and pushed underneath a docker cap, and dressed in this sort of long brown duster coat with sort of black I forget the name for like the shoulder drape that exists on a lot of dusters, but
oh yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, that part is black. As are the cuffs of the duster, with these black leather gloves, whose upper end disappears up into the sleeve. Wearing what looks like underneath might be a bodice or corset, rather than like what you would typically expect underneath this kind of duster, which would be more like a suit, like suit vest or something. But it does appear to have like more there's like a brief high risen not quite skirt underneath the bodice, and just black pants and brown boots. Hair is dark black, and the eyes are mostly brown, but have that like faint sense of they reflect a bit more light than perhaps they ought. That makes them seem slightly golden.
Okay. You get an eyebrow raise for your outfit because you're wearing pants. What is this nonsense? And the person on your doorstep just sort of says, your tribe has need of you, of your services, you and your pack, and is going to hand you a letter.
You'll take it. One with her thumb, just break the seal and flip it open, and like the show of dexterity, just like walk the letter out of the envelope with her fingers. Sure.
What you see inside is a very like basic kind of summary. It says the name of the show. It says like the address where it's going to be taking place at 6 o'clock tonight. Has been performing past couple of days. Spirits in the area getting restless. Find out what happened. What's happening?
She sort of reads it over, and then from the other guy's perspective, you just see the barrel of the shotgun slightly peek over the back of her head as she actually like shoulders it casually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll take a look then. I'm sure my good friend Ava will be delighted to look into this.
There are kindred involved. Don't make a mess of it. And he's going to turn and walk away.
I'll shut the door. Carry the shotgun over to a big, like, carrying bag. It's almost like it's the kind of bag that you would sling over your shoulder for carrying like all your worldly possessions, say if you needed to leave a city. And she just opens it, and even though this shotgun is longer than that bag is, just sticks the entire thing in as it disappears all the way. cinches the bag shut, slings it over her shoulder, grabs her revolver, puts it back into her belt, makes her way out the door to go gather the rest of the Dark and Stormy pack.
Okay, so that's why we're here. Now that we've established that, who would be the first person to show up at this scene? Who's anxious to be here, / worried they're going to get lost, / just really wants to make a good impression?
I think Ava's not going to be, definitely not going to be late.
Okay.
Like, this is kind of her thing a little bit, so she will arrive as she's probably outside a little bit just hanging around the place well before.
Okay. Who do we see then, kind of loitering outside? This is great. This theater is off of a street called Grace's Alley. This
Okay.
kind of neighborhood is really close to like London Docks. There is a newly built train station kind of right across from it, and then around the corner from this place is like a Seamen's Almhouse. It was like one of those like missions that was established to help like poor sailors kind of in the area, and it's kind of
Mhm.
kept going since then. So this is a very like mixed kind of neighborhood in
Okay.
here.
So she's probably she's found somewhere to sit.
Hmm?
And she is just sitting there. She will sit there for hours if she got there hours early. I don't think she did. I think she's probably only like maybe an hour or before she would expect everybody else to show up. But just sitting there perfectly at ease, almost off-puttingly still. She is probably in her early 20s. Dressed very right around in that sort of middle class area
Hmm.
of she is not wearing pants. She is not a pants like the alpha. Um, but it's not the yeah, very middle class is just sort of the best way that I could put it, in grays and blacks. Um hair is sort of the messy Victorian bun kind of thing.
Hmm.
Several strands that have not made it into the bun. Whether she's just not very good at doing it or just doesn't care. Bone white. Um, she wears a necklace with sort of a black stone, obsidian specifically. Gloves,
Hmm.
black gloves, and a pair of dark to the point that it would be easy to assume that she was blind. Sunglasses that are covering her eyes for very specific reasons.
Hmm.
Um, and while she is there, one of the reasons that she's showing up early um, is because it's just kind of easy for her to get lost, for one thing, because she doesn't spend enough time on this side of the gauntlet. But also, she can sit there, and the reason she is so perfectly still is she is currently trying to peek across the gauntlet and see what the spiritual situation is
Excellent.
around this place.
All righty. I think you have to make a roll for this, I
Yes, you do.
believe.
It's just like it's just like crossing the gauntlet.
Mhm.
You
So
just don't cross.
yeah, so the difficulty for that here is diff 8. We are in the
Okay.
center of the city.
I am going
This is Weaver
to
territory.
try and activate. Yep. I'm going to try to activate my mirror shades.
Okay.
Which they are Gnosis 7, so I have to roll Gnosis 7 to see if I can get the difficulty on this down by 2.
Yep.
No pool mod, difficulty 7.
Nope.
Yep, all right. That's how we gonna be. All right.
I believe you can also spend a Gnosis to activate if you fail to roll.
Yes.
I can, but I don't want to spend a bunch of Gnosis on before we get in and deal with.
That's fair.
What did you? To be clear, what would Eileen have told? us?
Eileen would have conveyed to the rest of the pack that the powers that be in the city are requesting our pack investigate something going on paranormal and spiritual alongside this entertainers show, and would have given the details on the apparently the spirits are riled up about this supposed medium, so we should investigate.
All right, cool. So I will then just try to. I will still have the shade, so I can still have a reflection to look. I will go with that. How much willpower do I have? I will spend a willpower point on this one.
All right, so automatic success.
Yep, but just 2 successes.
There you go. So you peek past this. The gauntlet is thick here, but you are used to this. You have a lot of practice doing this, and you see the sort of shimmery, slightly off-kilter outlines of the city streets loom above you suddenly as you are in now a much more all the buildings around you are taller, and therefore the sun that's getting to you is much less. Around you see a lot of this is very you are familiar enough with the Umbra around here and like the general environment. I will say the spirits that you're seeing are not different than any that you're normally used to. There's a lot of little like they kind of look like the like paper chains of money spirits, like commerce, sort of flitting back and forth very frantically. Underneath them are these like slow moving water elementals that look like fish, like ancient like sturgeon kind of fish below them, and then in a wall nearby, and you'd be familiar with this as a distinctive feature of London. There's a built wall, like built in the Umbra, that doesn't correspond to anything in the real. That is filled with, if you're familiar with dovecotes or like picture a wall with a whole lot of little holes inside, and there are pigeons nesting in there that are currently cooing loudly. It's very distracting, honestly. And you know that these are like messenger and warning spirits that the Shadow Lords, or not the Shadow Lords, I'm doing it again. The Silver Fangs, thank you, have placed in specific areas around the city to give them advance warning if something gets weird or strange. So clearly these are upset and kind of a little bit like flustered. There's a lot of feathers in the air. Everything's puffed up. Like, what is going on? I don't like this. You could probably, if you crossed over, ask them questions. I will say it's hard to do that just looking through.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I will. So yeah, on your guys' way, you just get over totem phone, which Ava has taken to like a fish to goddamn water. Just get. The birds are angry.
Clarify if you don't mind.
The birds, the Fangs birds. They're angry in
Ah.
this area.
Well, I mean, that tracks with the spirits being riled up of something about this show. That, at the very least, confirms our chain isn't being yanked.
I have a quick question, by the way, because I read the rule book recently and I'm fascinated by all of the mechanics. What's everyone's current like maximum rage? Not or your current like rage score?
2.
2?
1.
1?
3.
3. Okay.
4.
Whoa. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Excellent.
Aha.
Did none of us put freebie points in rage?
I had put freebie points in rage, but then I took them away to put them
Okay.
into totem.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope, that tracks. That tracks.
Yep.
And
It's
I mean,
it's cheaper to buy rage with experience than it is to buy dots of totem.
I feel like we'll have lots of opportunities to expand our rage with experience points because we live
Yeah.
in London in the 1880s.
Uh-huh. There will be lots of rage. What that means for right now is that no one's really reacting to you
Correct.
just sitting there, right, because you're not triggering that sort of primal that's a predator right there
Yep.
kind of
Nope.
sitting thing. It's just an odd lady.
Just wait till our Arun shows up and then
Yeah.
that'll all change.
Yep. Who's showing up next?
Probably
Legitimately,
Juniper.
this is what I said. It's either Juniper or Eileen, I think.
Okay. So would you have taken the omnibus to get here? That's the like easiest way to get around the city streets in like a short distance, or would you have walked? Do
She
you
would have
think?
walked.
Walked? Okay. And who do we see walking down the street as this message on totem phone is being passed? What do you look like?
She's kind of on the short side, about 5'2". And she has blonde hair, which is pulled back into multiple braids, pinned back into one long braid. She wears white trimmed with like a soft pink, long skirt, and a white top with a long cream colored coat with long sleeves, with the left arm absent, just the sleeve hanging there. And she has white boots, fair skin, and a bag which looks like it's seen better times slung over her shoulder.
Excellent. So as you walk along, you get some looks because wearing all white in the city is a difficult feat. And as you get closer, you see a friend, a packmate, kind of sitting there, and you also got the totem phone message, of course.
She will just nod. I'm sorry, it's Afa, right?
Yes.
Okay. I need to not look at how you spell it because it throws me off completely.
I know.
I know how to pronounce it.
Listen, it's not how I spell it. It's how people on a particular island spell it.
But yeah,
she-
without saying anything, she'll just like nod.
She does not seem to notice you because she's still looking across the gauntlet.
She's okay with that.
Yeah.
So you nod at someone who can't see you and sort of wait. And our final member of the pack. When are you arriving? Before or after your alpha?
The paper said 6. The show starts at 6, which
Yes.
means be there at 6.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh no.
So Dapple will arrive right on time.
So the question then is, Eileen, are you?
Eileen is there
ahead of
before
time?
6, so
Okay.
Dapple will be the last person. Eileen's also relatively easy to spot in a crowd, as long as she's actively letting herself be seen, because she's on the taller end of women of the time period at 6'2". and is built sort of like a dock worker more than your average Victorian lady.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, Afa is not on the tall end. Yes, that is a fair thing to bring. Afa is like 4'11".
Oh, that didn't come through, Holly.
Oh, I just said you're shorter than me.
There we go.
Yeah, like Smoke is like 6'2", maybe like 160 to 180 pounds of just like she's kind of built.
So what we're saying is, if we need to hang someone the flags so that if going through a crowd you don't lose each other, it's Eileen.
Yeah, it's
correct.
For multiple reasons. Yes, and you hand it to Smoke
for the moment.
Yep.
At the moment, yeah.
Because Dapple is coming up.
So Dapple will slide out of an alleyway, about 5'6". She has curly black hair that fades through to gray and eventually into white tips. She's not wearing anything sophisticated, but is wearing a white button-up with a tie that is badly tied. A brown leather corset top with a leather skirt over top of tan pants and brown work boots, basically. She's wearing fingerless gloves, and her fingertips are painted a deep black and to a point. Her hair is tied back with a red bandana, and her silver eyes, or her gray eyes, glow silver in the lamplight of the street.
Dapple, people move out of your way as you go through the city streets. It's depending on how you feel about that, it was whatever. But you move through the streets, and a subconscious sort of prickle at the back of people's necks make them say, I need to be somewhere else right now. This danger is close by.
She doesn't understand this whole traffic thing. Everybody just sort of moves and lets her go through the city.
Yeah. You have definitely stepped in front of at least one carriage and made it swerve dramatically. There's been swearing at you. It generally stops when you look at them.
The horses just seem to automatically go that way whenever you get near them.
Uh-huh. But everyone is gathered here. It's 6 now, because that's when you were arriving. So the show is right about to start.
I blink my way back to this side of the gauntlet. Look up. Oh, hi.
All right.
Hello.
Well, everyone's here. I suppose it's time for us to head on in and see what this show's all about.
All right, you head inside. The doors of this. So I find my notes again. The doors of this theater it's a like flat-fronted building that's got like an on the. It's like shares walls with a couple of other buildings on this alleyway, and on the opposite side of it, anyone who is coming from the other direction would know that the backside of this building has a like series of like a bay, not a bay window, but like a bay like arch off of the backside that as you go through the front entrance, there are columns that have like ornate carvings of fruit and flowers and things like that. This is gaslit around here, so those have been lit by this time of night. Inside the building, it is bustling and quite busy. People who are here and not looking on the penumbra side will have noticed that it's been gradually getting busier and busier, as it seems this is quite an exciting event, and there are quite a few people in here buying tickets. There's a small bar inside that is selling drinks. This building is clearly seen better days. Some of the paint is chipped. The rugs are threadbare. But it was clearly once a grand destination place to go to here on the East End. There is a hallways on either side of what looks like probably the main hall where you're going to be seated. There are also this building has 3 floors, and there are stairs that go up to a balcony on either side. You are shunted in aggressively by the crowd to line for tickets, who are about the asking price for this is not super expensive. It's about a couple hours wages for some of the poorer members of the audience here, and there's a wide variety of people going to see this show. You see like top hats, you see people in several layers of clothes, because what they've got is not super warm and it's wet and cold outside. There's like a variety of like socioeconomic classes going to see this thing. So they request the ticket prices. I assume Eileen will cover it.
Yeah, it's like once Eileen gets to the ticketing station, she just like reaches into a pocket. Part of why she likes pants, because they have pockets.
Yeah.
And just grabs like a handful of pounds and just slaps them onto the table.
Okay. And you acquire tickets. Would you be aiming for ground floor or balcony seats? The balcony seats are cheaper.
She's gonna spring for the more expensive ground floor because that gives her better access to where she needs to go if there's trouble.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So all of you are able to file into the theater. There is a lot of chatter happening.
We'll stop by the bar and order a drink.
Okay. Yep. Very easy to do. You acquire something gin-based. And
we don't have the materials to mix anything good here.
Head on through. There are a couple of very bored-looking ushers that take your tickets and direct you to just find a seat. It's kind of like open seating once you get in, once you've chosen whether to be upstairs or downstairs. It's a young man. He's like got the acne of a hormonal teenager and a young woman kind of hustling, talking to a lot of people, a lot of laughter from her. And you all head in. Can anyone who's looking around and trying to get a feel for the crowd, let's see here. That's going to be either perception, primal urge, which is a weird one, or perception alertness, just to notice things.
I will, sure. I will.
I will as well.
Perception primal urge, you said?
Yes. It's going to get you different things.
So difficulty?
I should do that. Difficulty 6. There's a lot of people in here.
What was the other option? Perception primal urge or what?
Perception alertness.
Okay.
Where did I put that stuff?
Awesome.
Hold on. I need to remind myself what my penalty is. I think it's -1.
Yes.
You said.
I think that's right. I put it on the character sheet, and then I don't remember where I put it on the character sheet because it doesn't really have the ability.
I mean, did you put it in your merits and flaws?
Difficulty on all site-based perception rules.
Yes.
+2.
So base difficulty was 7?
Base difficulty was 6.
Oh, 6, okay.
Yeah.
So up to 8 for you.
Yep. So an 8 for Aoife.
Perception. Alert.
Apparently most of us are just rolling well.
Difficulty 8.
Yeah, spend those rolls now.
1.
Okay. So Aoife, you're just having trouble from sheer number of people. There's a lot of
corpses
stuff
walking
going on
around here.
One corpse looks like the rest of them.
Yeah. A thing you notice is that the decoration on the interior of this place, there's like panels interspersed with columns is kind of like around the outside. On every other one of those, there are mirrors to kind of like reflect light and make the space look bigger. So there's lots of mirrors for gauntlet traveling.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will pass that along via the totem.
Mm-hmm.
If we need to pierce the gauntlet, just look to your left or your right.
Yeah. And I will say, this place is busy, but I don't think Aoife would notice this necessarily, but Eileen and Juniper and Dapple definitely do. People are focused toward the front, especially like as the show gets started. So there are darker corners and like hidden areas where you could step sideways and not like breach the, that type of thing. So this is a public building, but there are places where things can be done. Let's see. Out of the rest of you, who was rolling perception alertness and who was doing the perception primal urge?
Smoke is doing primal urge.
Okay.
Dapple is also doing primal urge.
Primal urge.
Juniper did alertness.
Okay. So Juniper, the there's a lot of conversation and chatter going on around you. A couple of folks have seen this show before and are like loudly and excitedly like telling companions with them, like, I saw it yesterday and you are not going to believe, and kind of like sort of hyping up the show.
Mm-hmm.
What you get from that is that this is so like medium shows and like occult things are really popular right now in society. Like this is the hot thing right now. This guy is an American, which is kind of exciting and a little bit different than the run-of-the-mill thing. No one like has seen him in America. These are all folks that you're listening in on who like have just heard about this guy from the short time he's been in Great Britain. But he apparently started like further down south. Like one person said they saw like their cousin's cousin saw him in Southampton when he first like arrived, and it was amazing, and like I had to go see it after that. It's a lot of like hyping things up and not a lot of details on what he's actually going to do during this show. So you're kind of missing that part of the equation. But apparently it's not to be missed. So, you got great seats, which is very exciting. The other two of you who are kind of like sniffing around a little bit more, most of the folks in here are bog standard mortal humans. There are upstairs especially, more kindred. You can smell that kinship with other like Guru related.
Okay, clarification.
Yes.
Kinfolk.
Kinfolk.
Which are
yes, not kindred.
that
sorry.
have werewolf relations, or
yes.
kindred, which is vampire speak
not
for vampires.
Vampires. No.
That would be unfortunate if we went upstairs and murdered all of the kindred, only to find out they were kinfolk.
Nope. Not. Yeah. Kinfolk.
We botched our sense worm
to the Guru Nation.
Yeah,
and you've been like, the letter you got for like why this needed to be investigated was like kinfolk are getting too close to this. So clearly there's some of them here. There is one man kind of down on your level that's pretty close to your cluster of ticket holders. He is talking quite excitedly with some mates of his who are just mortal. He apparently has not seen the show before and is quite excited about it. His name is Alan, apparently, is what you pick up partway through this. Alan. And he's getting he's rather enjoying a drink of his own. Anyone want to do anything before the show starts? It's going to start in, 5 minutes or so. But you got a little bit of time. You can insert yourself into something.
Eileen is... First, she's going to activate Blur of the Milky Eye.
Okay. What does this do?
I'm going to roll Manipulation and Stealth, difficulty 8. And it essentially acts like a perception filter. Every success increases the difficulty for people to spot her, as she just kind of becomes blurry and indistinct in people's peripheral vision.
Okay. Excellent.
1 second. Okay, so 2 successes. It doesn't prevent her from, like, if she puts herself directly in someone's view, being seen, but basically anyone who is not, like, actively looking directly at her has an increased difficulty of 2 for even trying to notice her at being present at all.
Good to know. Living up to the smoke moniker.
Yeah, she's just gonna slide through the crowd and try and find a corner where she's got a decent view of the entire area.
Sure.
And then she's going to activate the other gift that is relevant to the situation. She's going to spend a willpower and activate Whisper Catching.
All right. So I will say there are 2 different places where you could go to get kind of like that vantage point. If you go to the front of the room, there's like a little bit of a side there's like a stage, and then there's a little bit of an area that's like probably would be used for an orchestra, like a small orchestra if there was a musical performance or like a variety, like vaudeville kind of show.
There's no one there because this isn't the orchestra performance.
Yeah. So there's like a space off to the side of that you can be onto. I will say that is not going to be super covered. From the person who's on the stage is probably going to be able to see you still because like it's at the front of the room. If you go toward the back, there's also some space. But you'll be further back from the stage. And this is a very like long, narrow kind of room for sort of reference.
Yeah. Taking advantage of the blur of the Milky Eye, she'll go towards the front and just try and find a corner that's not immediately obvious to the person on stage. And then, she'll spend a willpower and activate Whisper Catching, which means that for the rest of the scene, all whispers within 200 feet of her are fully audible as though they had been spoken clearly just next to her.
Okay, excellent. Good to know.
Which hopefully will help her hear some of the goings-on backstage.
In fairness, it should be pointed out, that does not it does not mean that you understand all of them individually. It just means that there's that many people whispering in your ear right now.
Yeah, it's basically like every whisper is whispered as if it was right next to her.
Okay.
So she still has to parse what's being said.
Yes.
If
Correct.
it's
All right.
relevant.
Good to know.
That was the point I was. Yeah.
I think Dapple is going to slip up around the kinfolk in the upper level.
Okay.
Since her pure breed just kind of naturally emanates off of her.
Okay.
Just to see the reactions of the kinfolk in the area and with everything else going on.
Okay. There is not a way to get directly up to the balcony from where you are in the lower level. We're keeping segments of society separate from each other because that is the natural way of things.
Absolutely.
You can go up, the poor can go down.
Yeah. Yes, but you can make your way up there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head up that direction. It just takes sort of a glare at some folks, and they part for you, and you make your way up there. The reaction to you wandering around is the kindred definitely
Kinfolk.
notice you. The people around are more like shifting like uncomfortably and that sort of like this is kind of creepy. They're getting more of that vibe of we're at a something that is potentially creepy and scary, a scary ghost show versus the excited chatter that the buffer of the rest of the group giving you downstairs was more of that vibe. The kinfolk specifically, one of them looks you right in the eye and blushes. Like, oops, what are you doing here? Kind of like panicked deer in headlights moment.
They're mistaken. They think the adults have shown up.
Yeah, it's a pair of folks. It's a young man and a young woman. Look like they were out going on a date of some sort. And there is a moment. What are you doing with that moment? You do get a reaction.
I think what Dapple is going to do is just sort of stand off to the side, smile back, like the obvious "I have seen you" sort of smile, but pretend to be interested in the show, but be just in the immediate area.
Okay. All right. You've made them uncomfortable. Congratulations.
Fantastic. And as the show actually starts is when she will exit and go downstairs.
Okay. All right.
Found a couple of kinfolk. I think they're just out for a snog.
All right. Yeah. I go and take my seat for the record.
It stays that way.
That's all I'm doing.
It's everyone's pretty interested to be here.
Juniper's the same. She's just sitting down.
Okay. Beautiful. Aoife, if you advertised at all in here for your actual business, you would make money. You're probably not thinking that though at all.
She absolutely would. The problem is she is not thinking that.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, it is there for her to have a place to sleep when she's not in the Umbra.
There we go.
Kind of it. And make just enough money that I can live in the human world.
It's a beautiful thing. All right. With that, the show starts. There is the man on the poster comes out from behind stage. He is got very like swooped back blonde like wavy hair, that tumbles down. He's playing into the Shakespearean actor vibe a little bit with a like a frilly sort of poet shirt. And he's going to start in with some patter. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am so pleased that you are here today to witness and be touched by whatever is on the other side. I am not here to answer your questions. I merely come to pose. What if? What if that person that was gone, that was taken so tragically from you, and he like kneels down at the front of the stage and is engaging with a woman who's listening with rapt attention to him, was able to reply and answer your questions. What if you could ask what the stock markets or the horse races were going to be doing tomorrow? The possibilities are endless.
Totem the phone. Can I rip his throat out yet?
Not yet. Let him be a sham.
Yeah, Aoife, this is hitting all of your likes. This is a charlatan.
This motherfucker.
He is playing into some.
We have a bad name.
Let him be a sham. We need to figure out what's actually going on.
I must.
After?
Absolutely.
Good.
I must warn you all, if you are sitting in the front rows, if you have delicate sensibilities, you may wish to step back. Let the stronger sex be a shield for your delicate sensibilities. He's going
now
to.
Can I rip his throat out?
It's tempting, but not yet.
But without further ado, let us begin. I am going to start with the classic question and answers, and he's going to continue on into a very anyone who has gone to see a spiritualism show, which Dapple, I had a question for you. Do you think you have gone to some of these before? Because it's very interesting.
Absolutely not.
Okay, excellent. This is
our
brand
first one.
new. It's super exciting.
I am going to try to maneuver myself into a position to be questioned.
Oh, okay. I love that. This is definitely going to be a roll. What kind of roll is that going to be? Maneuvering, dexterity, athletics and manipulation. That's what
athletics,
this is.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
Well, I have manipulation.
Okay.
So,
athletics is one of the ones that doesn't penalize you for not having it. So.
Yeah, this is true.
Let's see how this goes.
Diff is 6.
Okay. There's 2.
Okay. You aren't the first
Suddenly
one.
I'm just not there next to you guys.
Excellent. You are not the first person questioned. He goes through, and one of them is clearly a plant. Like you can tell it's like the first person to kind of see the getting people involved with this. But you are called upon. Young woman.
Yes.
Young.
I'm young.
With
you gotta
bleached
go with
white hair.
You don't say old woman. That's very rude.
Correct.
He's being gentlemanly.
Outside of the hair, she still looks young.
Exactly.
While this is going on, Smoke is trying to listen for any whispers of activity backstage using whisper catching, trying to see if anything important is going
Yes. Give me a perception alertness to pick
Put a
up, see what you're
willpower
picking
into
up.
this.
Actually, not perception alertness. It would be wits. Wits and wits and empathy to like pick up what's actually coming from backstage versus all of the other noise that you're hearing from just there being a lot of people in this room.
All right, difficulty.
Difficulty is 7. There's a lot of folks in here, and they're still pretty restless. It's the beginning of the show.
Putting willpower into this.
Okay.
3 successes.
Awesome. So you are not you're picking up like a couple whispers from backstage that sound just like stagehands. Like there's a couple of folks like probably manning like spotlights kind of thing. And someone who sounds like maybe they're like a stage manager or something like that. It's mostly like there's a lot of paying folks in the audience, so there's that at least. We'll see how it goes after intermission. Kind of thoughts or like mostly what you're getting from their like gossiping backstage, basically.
All right. And she's gonna keep an ear out because she's getting everybody's whispers. If there's anyone who doesn't sound like they're paying full attention to the show, she's keeping an ear out for that.
Okay, excellent. Good to know what you're looking for. But Eva, you get called upon. What is your question, young lady?
Yes, I come from a long line of mothers and who I've always felt a very strong connection to. And I'm wondering if any of them might have a message for me. And which one?
Oh, yes. Give me one moment. And he's gonna kind of go into his spiel. You can tell he's very clearly fishing for some information from you as he continues on.
And
I assume you're not giving him any.
I am a fucking bored.
Excellent.
Like, there is nothing.
Beautiful. I'm gonna have you make a roll for this to see what if he picks up on this, because you've successfully maneuvered away into getting this question answered, or getting like some of this attention on you. It's going to be another manipulation, and I guess you're trying to do this like subtly, so that'd be manipulation subterfuge to like. Pass yourself off as just a curious onlooker, you know? Difficulty is going to be, he's good at this. So that's going to be a difficulty 7.
Okay.
He's got this is not his first rodeo.
There's one.
Okay. So he pulls out the blandest, like, your ancestress. I can sense they want to let you know that they are proud of your choices.
Which one?
I believe it's not someone you're very close to. On your father's side, grandmother? You know, she's not dead.
No, I am incredibly close with my grandmother, so it definitely can't be that.
Great grandmother.
She's still alive,
sometimes
too.
The great grandmother. My mistake. This sometimes happens.
I'm sure it does.
Level
Are you getting an
The
initial,
generation.
perhaps?
C.
Nope. No season or name.
Well, this is where it gets interesting because it's not an exact science. He is going to start ignoring you and
That's
pivots
fine.
and tries to
moving on to better targets.
I have done the damage that I wanted to do
Excellent.
to his show, so I
Excellent.
will go and sit down.
Okay, beautiful.
Looking very pleased.
Excellent.
I'm sure at least somebody was like, this dude's fucking full of it now.
There's Eileen, you hear in sort of the whispers, not from the backstage, but like there's a little bit of a stir of like, oh, that was kind of the doubters are picking up a little bit after that display. But he is going to gamely continue on because this is his job. And very soon after this, like pivoting, he is going to say that he is going to do some spirit portraiture. It's where you channel the essences around us into producing an image on a piece of, he pulls out like a white silk scarf and stretches it on like a canvas kind of backing. If you are familiar with these, this is, you treat this with a chemical and you have a reagent and you have a reaction and it will do something spectacular that is totally not real. But he kind of goes into that.
Why? This guy is nonsense. Why is he possibly riling up the spirits?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. There's something going on around this show that's got, I mean, you saw the messenger spirits. They're angry about something.
I'll say with the whispers, you are picking up now that he's pivoted, the believers in the audience, those who have like seen the show before, are telling their friends, just wait. Hang on. I know it's a little bit like kitschy right now, but just wait. After the intermission, there will be it's amazing.
So yeah, over the totem phone, she'll share. I'm picking up from the veterans and the true believers that apparently the real fun of his shows after intermission.
All right.
What I assumed.
Yeah. Do you want me to position on the other side?
If you're more comfortable there and you can find a spot to slip sideways and keep an eye on what's going on spiritually, it'd be worthwhile.
I'm fine right now in either place. I'm enjoying watching him flounder and fall flat on his face, but if things are going to get exciting after the intermission.
Yeah, I think perhaps when the crowd goes to intermission, maybe don't slide back into your seat.
Cross to the other side?
Yes.
Fantastic.
All right.
I will go use the facilities and jump across then.
All righty. We'll have you make your roll to cross the Umbra.
Yep.
There are plenty of mirrors around, so that's not an issue.
I will just go ahead and spend my gnosis to activate. I've got the shade, so
yep.
I can do it whenever. I will just spend the gnosis to activate that, so it's 2 lower, so it's 6. I'm assuming then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Let's see. Spend the gnosis. Roll the gnosis. Oh, not pool mod 6. That always screws me up. Oh no. Well, okay.
Oh,
that's
not-
not
So you
not
do
a
have a
botch.
success in there, so it's not a botch.
correct.
But you are having trouble. Actually,
I may need to murder. Is it okay if I need to murder this person to cross the gauntlet?
Aoife, I think I need a rage roll.
Okay.
Because this is your thing. You should be able to do
That's a
this.
fair
And
point,
you're
that's a fair
also
point.
already agitated by this guy being such a piece of shit.
What's my diff?
Diff.
It's full moon, right?
No, it's half.
Half moon. Okay.
Yeah. hmm do I remember what page that was on? No, I don't.
I'm trying to remember what it is myself. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
realizing that.
Now, if I'm recalling correctly, it's the more minor the irritant, the higher the difficulty, because too many successes is when you go berserk.
It's
Yes.
technically impossible for me to frenzy right now
Mhm.
because my rage is only 2. But
But I've seen you roll, so we still need to do it. Frenzy
That's true. I could
is
roll like
page 263.
Okay, 263.
263.
I could somehow roll like
Let's see.
6 successes
Half.
on 2 dice.
It's half, so difficulty 6.
Diff 6. Okay,
Yeah, man, it's not your auspice, so just a 6.
correct.
Yeah. Let's see if you
Okay,
do anything fun.
Nope, I'm just annoyed.
Okay.
I'm just really
moderately
fucking
pissed.
annoyed.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I can't get across. I may need to murder someone to do it. I may need a sacrifice. There's one on stage.
If you kill him before we find out what's riling the spirits up, we won't get the information we need.
Can I at least take a finger? I'm fine. It's okay. I'm not across the gauntlet. I'm just in the bathroom.
Take some time, center yourself, try it again.
Yep. I'll have you try again. Repeated actions doing the same thing are
I
generally
think
they get harder, but I don't know if crossing the
I'm
gauntlet
trying
is
to
a-
remember. I'm trying to remember the rules for stepping sideways because I know that I may not be able to cross for another hour. I don't remember the specifics.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Stepping sideways, page 309, according to the index. And since indexes are always right in World of Darkness books,
Yeah.
yes, failure. I have to wait another hour before trying again.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
long is this show?
Ooh, that's
Not an hour longer.
Yeah, no, it's not.
All right.
I can go across.
Works for me.
If my sheet will ever decide to, it's stamina primal urge.
Yeah, it's
It's
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Difficulty of the
Gnosis.
gauntlet.
Gnosis. Yep.
Gnosis difficulty 8.
Diff 8 right now.
What was the page on stepping
Oh.
sideways?
Oh no!
Oh no!
No.
Dapple
That
just
is a
cannot
botch.
go across.
No, no.
Okay.
You're caught
Yeah.
in the gauntlet.
So where are you? Have you headed to the bathroom to do this, or are you just posting up near one of the mirrors in here?
I think she would have gone. I think she would have followed Aoife's example and gone to the
Okay.
restroom.
Okay. So you try and step sideways. What?
Oh no.
I love it. I love it. It's gonna be
Of
great.
note, you can still use totem phone
Yes.
Yeah.
to
You
let
can.
us know.
That you've been stuck.
So
So you try and step sideways. You're pretty good at this usually. You haven't had a ton of practice, but how hard can it be in a city? Like you've done it a lot back home, where it's a lot more rural. And you step sideways into a wall and then get stuck partway through a spiritual wall. There are a crowd of pigeons around you, cooing very loudly because they're quite upset. One of them puffs up right underneath your nose, and a cloud, like a little poof of feathers, like a perfume bottle spritz, just sort of gets right up into your nose, and you feel very stuck.
It should also be noted that when you are stuck, you are, while trapped, they are subjected to soul-shattering visions.
Oh boy. So
Although the
Good
werewolf
news
cannot
is
be seen
nobody
or
on this
attacked by
side
physical
can-
entities, evil
nobody
spirits
can
do
see
wander
you.
the gauntlet.
yes, this is true.
We just hear over tone of them, ah!
Yeah, there was probably the I'm going to go across and then radio silence and then just screaming.
I know
Holy
that
shite.
sound. We need one of you here. I cannot pull
Fuck
her to one side or the other.
All right,
And somebody needs to.
give me a second.
I'll do it. It's fine.
Are you going to be able to handle it?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Good luck.
What am I rolling?
So Juniper stands up. Do
You
you head to
come
the
into the
bathroom?
bath-
Yes, I go to the bathroom.
At this point, I have
We
stepped
go in
out of
back.
my stall and am standing in front of this stall that I knew Dapple walked in, went into, and if anybody comes up, I just turn them around and push them to another stall.
Excellent. Okay. Beautiful. And Juniper walks up and is going to try and do this. Diff 8.
All right, love, please, do not get stuck.
What am I rolling?
No.
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Am I just rolling Gnosis?
Just your
Mhm.
Gnosis.
Straight
If you would
Gnosis,
like to spend
difficulty
willpower,
8.
you can.
Oh, I would
Correct.
definitely like to spend willpower. How do I roll Gnosis?
Click on
I
Gnosis.
click it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was clickable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm adding +3 to this.
No, you just
no,
add
it
a,
just
you
adds
get
an
one
automatic
automatic
success.
success.
Oh,
Yeah,
You-
old
you
world,
can't
not
New
new
world
botch
world.
on
versus
this.
old world,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. You can't botch
So-
on this like Dapple did.
what am I putting for pool mod?
Nothing.
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 Okay.
And then difficulty 8.
I did roll it. It's just not showing up.
Uh-oh. Roll 20. Why? We're doing so good.
Yep.
I will
Look,
try-
if it doesn't screw up every now and then, how are you going to appreciate it when
Oh,
it does?
there we go.
That one
There
went
it goes,
through.
okay.
All
Two
right. 2
successes.
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 Yay, it means it only takes you 30 seconds.
Yep. So with you carefully step on through, you can see now Dapple very clearly stuck partway through this wall.
And all it takes to free a caught guru is for someone else to successfully step sideways. So
Yeah, because you can grab them and
You-
sort of pull them
Yeah,
through
that's
with you.
that's what she was. Yeah, grab Dapple, pull.
The visions stop.
So the thing that you'll notice is Dapple is because Dapple has 5 dots in spirit heritage, which affects the way she looks across the Umbra.
Yeah, what do you look like?
So Dapple is a being made completely of water, as she is aligned with a water spirit.
I feel like this is something that Ava probably knows, which is why she was like, "You're with us now."
Very much so.
There you go.
You
But-
okay? Oh, sorry.
I very much not like for that to ever happen again.
Yeah,
I'm f-
let's try
I'm
to
okay.
not let that happen. Okay. Okay, what is being done on the other side? What was supposed to be done over here?
Yeah.
Anything?
So once after I see Juniper fully disappear from this side,
Mm.
I'm like, all right. So now that you're over there, keep an eye out, please, for anything going on. Apparently, something special happens at intermission. So
Okay.
After intermission, so second
after
half of the show.
intermission, yes.
Okay. Yes.
So you see very similarly to what Aoife described earlier, sort of just the all of the spirits are on edge that you see here. You don't see anything like the type of spirits, and like the number is less than you'd normally get. It seems like a lot of things are like hiding or just sort of trying to stay further away, but the like types of spirits you see are not abnormal for this area. But at this point, having had a lot of meanwhile, in the background, a very dramatic spirit portrait was assembled. It's not as interesting as the shenanigans that just occurred, so we won't focus on that. At this point, however, Josiah.
I've made my way back.
Okay, back to your seat. Yes.
Yep.
By yourself now at this point, actually. At this point, Josiah says, now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking a brief intermission, refresh your drinks, and steel yourselves for something that the faint-hearted among you might not be prepared for. But just ask your neighbor. It's going to be spectacular. And he does spirit fingers and backs up into the curtains.
Can't help it. There is an audible groan that comes from Ava.
Excellent. And he backs back into the wings. There's going to be a brief intermission. It'll only be like 10 minutes. To allow folks to refresh their drinks and etc. Anyone moving around, anyone wanting to do something during that meantime. Otherwise, things will start to begin happening. But I want to see if anyone's
I smoke
going in
like he's like, all right, if I'm gonna deal with another fucking half of this, I need something stronger than gin. And she's gonna go back to the bar and see if she can get a mixed drink.
Pick me up something. Several.
You are very easily able to purchase some alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, it's just,
I am
like
far too sober.
1/3 rum, 2/3 ginger beer, on the rocks, slice of lemon.
There you go.
You get you get an odd look because this is not a normal drink at this point in time. But it is served to you and it is delicious. As time passes, though, as Aoife, you are waiting in your seat, kind of just keeping an eye out, waiting impatiently for a drink to help steal you through this nonsense. And Eileen, you are still listening in as you are waiting in line for your still got dark the and stormy. On. There begin to be more and more whispers from the other side. Give me an intelligence occult roll, Eileen, because you're the only one who can hear this. And I don't know if you know what it is. Difficulty is 7.
Occult.
Yeah. Because this isn't normal stuff for y'all. Okay. There is chanting going on back there. There is definite chanting. It sounds like Josiah Dendy's voice. And then it sounds like more than his voice. And then there are many voices back there, a small chorus. Meanwhile, Aoife, I'm going to say, even without a roll, you still can't pass over, but
Right.
you can feel the gauntlet getting porous around you. Like, you are very clearly in tune with, like, sort of the things beyond the gauntlet. And you can feel that the gauntlet is getting thinner. Which has all sorts
Somebody
of
tell me
implications.
what's going on.
On the other side are two folks over there. This is going to be a difficulty 4. It's pretty easy to spot. To tell what it is, though, is going to be a this to gauge, like, how dangerous this is. So it would be perception occult. Or I'll say perception primal urge, because you're like, this is werewolf sense stuff.
Can we use occult though?
Yes.
Okay.
Whichever is better.
Yeah.
Difficulty?
Difficulty?
Difficulty 4.
4.
You're seeing things on this side. Nice. Okay. So the two of you have a front row seat as kind of you're in the, like, rough equivalent of where the bathroom would be on this side, so you are not super close to this. On the other side, as this is happening in on the penumbra side, this looks like a there's like a sort of oblong raised, like, stone platform that there begins to be more and more sort of a bright light coming from up on this stage, quote unquote. And you can, similarly to Aoife, can feel the gauntlet becoming thinner. And you begin to see not Gaian or, like, wild or weird or any of the other, like, what you would consider to be the natural spirits in this area. You see humanoid figures that reek of rot and death and decay, beginning to claw their way through, sort of hands first. And it gets easier and easier for them. They first crawl out of the ground of the penumbra, and then, like, float upward and begin clawing through to what you would know is they're trying to get into reality now, which is, not good. The dead are coming through.
Okay.
Can we communicate via totem phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
totem phone works across the umbra.
Okay.
Or works across the gauntlet.
It's Eileen, right? Is that how?
Eileen or
Eileen.
Smoke is her deed name.
Okay. Okay. Eileen,
Aye?
there's how do I phrase this?
The dead are trying to come through.
Yes. There are zombies prying open into reality. Yeah.
Oh, that fucking tracks because
That
I'm hearing
bloody
whatever the fuck this guy's doing. He's doing some legitimate actual spell work backstage with some kind of coven.
Mother.
I would like to go Krynos. So,
Excellent. We're gonna have a shift roll for that because it's not your breed form.
Yep. 3 successes. So,
Excellent.
Dapple goes from this sort of vague humanoid shape with 2, like, crystalline icy eyes into a 10-foot tall being of water with claws made of pure ice and fangs made of the same, and just rushing forward.
Excellent.
Ava just stands up from her seat and she is if there is not an obvious backstage route, she is hopping on the stage.
She's gonna make one
and walking backstage.
Yeah, Eileen takes her 2 drinks that she had mixed, one for her and one for Ava, and just like starts to walk off. Blur the milky eye. Let people not see her as she disappears after Ava backstage.
Yes, excellent, beautiful. And Juniper, what are you doing?
Shifting into Krynos and chasing after, I'm sorry, Dapple?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
For you, it is your breed form, so it doesn't take a roll.
You do not need to roll for this.
Yay.
It's automatic.
Yep. It's one of the big advantages that Metis
one of the
have.
very few advantages that Metis have.
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, they have a lot when it comes to combat and mechanical stuff.
They can soak aggravated damage except for silver in any form. But they're also vulnerable to silver in every form.
Yes, but they also heal at increased rates in every form.
Mm-hmm. There are many advantages and disadvantages, and at this point,
just
yeah, there's just some small social disadvantages to it.
Just a few
small social disadvantages,
and a variety of different mutations that happen at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
This point though is where I think we'll take our intermission.
Yep.
Stand up, stretch your legs, grab yourself a drink until we get back to it.
We are back.
A dinosaur story. I get to do it unopposed. I'm so excited. But everyone else here is still alive. That may change shortly because we're gonna roll initiative.
Even the people that are in the reel right now.
Yes, because there is running to the back.
Or in my case, leisurely walking.
We need initiative from everyone, and we will go from there. That's a lot of successes, Dapple.
Not really.
Nice.
That's pretty because it's your.
Oh, that's right.
It's
yeah,
it's a D10
it's a different.
plus your
That's
wits
right.
and dex.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that's fair. So they're gonna do
10, 9, 8, 6.
Motherfucker.
All right. I gotta do mine real quick because I totally remembered how to roll initiative in the system. So that's gonna be that.
All these fucking people out here are getting in my way as I try to go.
So he's got that, and they've got.
And I don't have the
plus-
rage to make them run away.
He's got plus that to this. A truly terrible roll. Okay. So we've got Aoife with a 6. He's got a 7. We've got an 8 for Eileen. Juniper, 9. And they've got a 9 as well. And leading the pack is Dapple with a 10. All right, so it is going to be Dapple, then Juniper, then some things are going to happen, and then Eileen, and then Josiah, and then Aoife. So Dapple, you just grossed out, and are running toward ghosts. It sounds like.
Yes.
On the Umbra. All right. Give me a quick sec, because I forgot to do this earlier, to determine how many ghosts you're running towards, because there are a number of ghosts, and he's trying to summon them through, and we'll see how good he is at this. He's got a dice pool of 5. He's kind of trying to be dramatic here. So that's always fun. Yeah. Let's see what we get here for you, Mr. Josiah Dendy. That's pretty good. So you are running headlong into as like this the porosity of the gauntlet here, you can feel like a sponge, and 3 spirits have made their way clawing down into it like loam, or crawling up into it like loam, and have made their way through to the other side. But there are 3 remaining on this side, and you are running headlong into them. And then what are you doing?
We are going to become a whirlwind of fang and claws is what we're going to do.
Excellent. That is very good. 5 successes. Do I remember how combat in this system works? This is where we're going to find out, because let's see here. Whirlwind of fang and claws.
If the attack has a set difficulty, They need at least one success to hit. Everything beyond that is extra dice rolling for damage.
Awesome. Thank you.
If the opponent feels like spending their turn and not being able to do anything on their turn, they can take a defensive action to try and reduce the number of successes.
Okay, they would like to try and do that because they've got a goal, and that goal is to not get blendered into oblivion. They would not like that.
Their choices are dodge, which they can do to any kind of attack, which is
yes.
I forget what the roll for dodge is.
I've got that pulled up. Dex Athletics.
Block if they think they can block the attack, or parry if they've got a weapon to do that.
Okay, they're gonna try and dodge. That feels safer. Much safer. Dexterity, athletics. Okay. Let's look at their little sheet here. Wrong button.
And that's just a straight difficulty 6. Every success reduces the number of successes that were rolled on Dapple's attack by 1.
Yep.
Okay. So they're going to try and reduce it. They don't have a great roll to this. It's only a 3. Because the ghosts, they are not prepared for werewolves. They were not expecting werewolves. But they do get 2 successes. So
you made it with 3 successes, which is a hit with 2 extras. So you'll be rolling the damage for your claws plus 2 extra dice.
Correct. And make sure you're on the right
make sure you're in the right form. Yeah.
I am. Yep. I don't know what damage for the claws is though.
Plus I don't know if it's even
claw is strength plus 2.
Okay.
It's there is a generic brawling and clawing section on your character sheet.
Yeah, under combat. I think.
Yeah. Because those are moves that every werewolf has.
Let's go with...
Very nice. As you claw into spirits and because you're both on this side of the umbra, it's that viscerally satisfying. You still get that viscerally satisfying, sort of drag as your watery form kind of claws and punctures into one of these things.
Point of order. That was an attack roll, not a damage roll.
Oh, that was.
Oh yeah.
Click the aggravated damage on the right. And put in your extra 2 successes. There you go.
Oh, much better.
That's
okay.
Better.
Watery claws digging in, and one of these spirits just sort of gives a cry that you can feel shiver through you as it is eviscerated and sort of falls ectoplasm falls down and splashes against the floor of the stage here in the penumbra, and you can feel that it has gone to back whence it came.
Cool. You're gonna spend a point of rage.
Okay.
And do another one of those.
Okay. Point of order, you do need to let me know if you are spending rage ahead of time before you make your first attack.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Generally speaking, you'll try and say what you're doing ahead of time before you do it.
Yep.
Yes. All right. But that was your turn. Well done. One of the ghosts is gone. Next up is Juniper. Also here on the other side, you've seen that happen.
Yep. She is going to follow suit and help Dapple.
Okay.
And claw the other ones near her.
All righty. Make a claw attack.
Because I remember how to do this.
Same.
Wait, where's...
So it might be hidden by default because that's annoying like that. Go to the combat tab
I'm in
across the
combat.
top. It'll have all the combat and all the blank spots. Underneath that, there's
Yeah.
a spot that says brawling and clawing.
Yeah.
And that may be
Oh.
hidden. Click the little claw
Yeah,
mark
that one.
next to the.
This.
It'll pull it
Oh,
up.
I see.
Yeah.
And there it is. Thank you.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
hidden,
You'll hit
annoyingly.
Act you want to do, and it will roll the roll, and then once you've
Mhm.
decided your number of hits, you'll hit the damage button and put in the number of extra successes.
Yes.
Okay, so hit the claw attack first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's 2 successes.
Nice. And this is going to do the same thing of trying to dodge. It may be able to negate this, possibly. It's going to try, you know.
Also, make sure you're in the right form already.
I am.
Do. See here. Yeah, 3 successes.
So that's a successful negation. They managed to dodge out of the way.
Yep.
Okay.
This one does
So-
not want to re-die.
Yes. So this one, as you spring forward in your Krynos form as well, taking a similar sort of swing with deadly claws that aren't watery, just your own form, and you're not swinging with both of them, and it sees you coming and is on high alert, and you see as it sort of like dodges out of the way and gives a hiss at your face.
It will hiss back.
Okay.
That does take their action for their turn, unless they have
Yep.
something else that lets them do extra stuff.
Mhm. That is fine. It was worth it.
Yeah, worth not dying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're waiting for something else to happen. And it is now their turn actually. So that one is still still alive, quote unquote. But there's one next to it that is going to try, and it's gonna they're not super smart, so they're gonna go for the one that actually did damage last round. So it's gonna go after Dapple, and is going to make a wonderful little thing, called a blast. As it spends a point of essence, this cannot be dodged. And so it's gonna lose that, but
I don't know if it specifies whether or not it can be blocked or parried.
good question. Spend a point of essence, cannot be dodged. Roll rage for aggravated damage. I will double check
I mean,
that.
they already acted, so there's not much dodging to be done.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So
All right. So I'm gonna roll this thing's rage, which is not great. These are not inherently angry ghosts. But they're gonna try.
Oh, also, once you get hit, you can try and soak, though I don't know if that spirit could have soaked all 8 of that aggravated damage, even if they tried.
Oh no, yeah, they're not that. They're pretty fragile right now. So that is 2 successes. So that is 2 aggravated damage to you, Dapple. Let me double check
Okay,
whether or not
I'm
that's soakable.
going. Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say. Let me know if I can soak that.
Yeah.
You're in Krynos form, unless it says that it can't be soaked, as if it was by silver, then it should be soakable.
there's other stuff like toxic waste.
Yeah, like there are
and-
things that'll say they can't be soaked
Mhm.
naturally.
Yeah. Do I have the page pulled up? No, I don't. Let me see here. Let me find spirits here. Blast. Okay. Point of essence for the spirit stage is a damage dice pool dealing aggregated damage. The spirit does not need to roll to hit, and the attack cannot be dodged. It doesn't say anything about soaking though, so I'm gonna say that it can be soaked. It's not dodgeable.
Yep.
That's 4 successes versus 2 damage.
Yep. Yeah. So you just sort of like breathe through it basically, and like your watery form just sort of like waiting for a pond ripple to sort of go through it, and you can feel that sort of like thing's anger, but it is so minuscule. The spirit's rage compared to yours is so minuscule that it doesn't really do anything to you. Wonderful. I love it. On the other side, let's see here. We had Aoife was running up and was much closer to the center of the action at the beginning of things. Eileen is running there.
Please, I'm carrying 2 drinks. I'm walking at a quick pace.
Okay, that's fair. So you're not within range of them. Let's see here. I'm gonna say that one of the 3 is going to get near enough to you to try and blast you, Aoife.
Right, what do they look like on this side?
So on this side, ooh, this is interesting because you see dead things all the time. So it's really,
you're not wrong.
It's really like kind of a little disorienting.
I just see somebody coming up, and I think there's somebody I need to shoulder past, and then they
exactly
shoot me with.
That's kind of it.
With,
the thing that pings to you that like gives you that split second of, oh wait, no, this is dangerous. Is that they smell dead, because like your senses of is visual. The curse is visual based. It doesn't affect like the way things smell all the time.
Right.
And so that's the thing that like pings you as, oh, this is off.
There's just a brief moment, a quick pause of, oh, fuck me.
Yeah. And it's gonna try and get to you here. It's got a little bit more here.
Oh no.
Because it's made it through, and now it can like pull off of.
It is totally going to be my fate in Wednesday Night World Werewolf games to just get one shot at the start of the fight.
I'm trying not to, Jeremy.
No, fucking do what you're gonna do. You know me. I am all for it.
I do, but then I'll have to deal with you making another character, and that'll require me to do more effort. So I'm really like. It's good. That was a terrible roll, though. That was only 1 success because they rolled. They rolled like crap.
All right. Well, I'm in Hamid, so I cannot soak.
This is true. Yep. So you take 1 aggravated damage as this thing sort of like you brush past, thinking, oh, this is just another one of this is just a person. You don't have to like. This happens all the time, and then it turns and like this skull sort of extends in a wide grin, and the breath of the grave rolls across you, and you feel sick as creatures of life. This is anathema to you. It's not good.
Oh, no, you did not fucking just do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's their turn. Eileen, you're up next.
Yep. As Eileen is walking in, what do these things look like to her, who doesn't see everything like a corpse?
Right.
Like a skeletal. Like kind of very clearly still like ethereal. They have not connected to a suitable vessel in which to take full form. So they are still ethereal. You definitely see the one that's on your packmate. And you see Josiah. Actually, you're coming from farther away, and you're still in Hamid form. You'd have to spend an action to be able to get far enough to see behind the stage where Aoife is, because you are coming from farther away. If you'd like to, you can spend rage, at the top of your turn to like be able to move and do an attack.
Unfortunately, with a rage of 1, I don't think I can, because I believe I can only take extra actions equal to half my rage value.
Round it up.
Round it up? Okay,
round
cool.
it up,
So I can
and the other stipulation, it has to either be equal to your lower of either wits or dexterity, because you can't move faster than you can think or move.
Yeah.
But that won't limit with just rage 1.
Both of those are 3, so theoretically,
Yeah.
if my rage gets to 6, I can take 3 actions.
Yeah.
Or well, if my rage gets to 4, I can take 2 extra actions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's gonna just take her whole action to move up into that situation. She's gonna preserve her own rage. But she'll make her presence known as she's like walks in, like strides up, holding both drinks, and just sort of looks at the situation, sees these spiritual ghosts. Do they look solid enough they could take a bullet?
Ooh. No.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind.
It would go through them, and then you'd have a bullet in the side of a room.
Good to know.
Yep.
Possibly in the side of a person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Which means that her primary method of dealing with these things is going to be dealing with Josiah.
Yeah, who is because you took your turn to get here. You can see him in sort of the center. He got 3. So he doesn't look great, actually. You can see he's kind of like holding in the center of like this swirling. The 2 other spirits that he summoned through are kind of like swirling about him in not quite a whirlwind. It's not that fast, but like swirling around
sort of
him
orbiting
rapidly.
him, yeah.
Yeah. And you can see that like he's got like his sleeves kind of rolled up, and the flesh on his forearms is blistering and looks quite painful. Like a little bit of a burn. Like you might see like someone hit by steam or something like that. But he is continuing to kind of like concentrate. He looks so focused on the ritual that he hasn't like clocked that this is happening yet.
She'll just sort of like walk in, see all of this, look to her side, set the 2 drinks down on like a prop table nearby, and then just unsling her bag from around her shoulder. But that's all she's got for her turn.
Okay.
So
yep.
Actually, do
I have a
things next turn.
question.
Yeah.
Did this qualify as a servant of the supernatural?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Awesome.
We're going to get to you in a second because Josiah has something he's doing, and then it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm just going to roll my ancestor rating now.
Beautiful. Go ahead.
We'll see how this works.
Josiah is going to continue to try and summon his things. He's going to make another check here.
Make a summoning roll, wizard.
Exactly.
Background 2.
All right. Just gonna do some more pulling here. Ooh. Okay. So, I'll let you contemplate what that means because I don't remember off the top of my head. But meanwhile, Josiah is continuing to concentrate. The flesh on his fingers begins to bubble and melt like candle wax. And he pulls through 3 more ghosts. So there's 6 on this side now. As on the Penumbra side, the one that you had tried to claw, Juniper, kind of slips through and up through your fingers. You know it has just gone through to the other side. The dead one cannot do anything because it has been banished back. And another one hops up from the ground as 2 of the spirits make it through from the penumbra to the real, and another one gets through from wherever they're coming from into the penumbra. So you've got one spirit, one wraith on that side with you, and there are now 5 total in the real world. In the backstage here. It's a good idea. Aoife!
Great. Yep. So
What's up?
Normally in this kind of situation, I think Ava would try her hardest. In other words, spend the willpower to resist it.
Mm-hmm.
She is so angry at this person already.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really viable.
Okay.
I don't think it makes sense for Ava's posture completely changes. And she just this dead thing that tried to attack her, that's not her concern.
Mm-hmm.
That's a somebody else problem.
Okay.
Ava is going to do some veil breaking because she's going to try and shift.
Okay.
In fact, I think she's just going to spend a rage point to shift.
Just a rage. Okay. Perfect.
Yep. Because it would be stamina, primal art. She's only got 4 dice for that, and I think Kira knows that. So
excellent.
Also, I believe when you spend a rage point to shift, it's instant, and thus
it is instantaneous, and you still get actions. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. High
so
or
on
low?
the stage, high or low? Low.
Low? Okay. Let's find out.
All right.
All right.
So on the stage, she does boom into she is white furred, white and silvery furred, very much the same color as her hair. Mm-hmm. All of her clothing stuff is dedicated to her, so it doesn't rip off. It melts away, including the sunglasses. So anybody who's looking, granted, if there's people, they're probably running in fear and will forget all this. Hopefully.
No, that was what the roll was for. You were full behind the curtain enough that it's obscured slightly.
Okay. So the poor motherfuckers in this ritual can see like the void like eyes, like completely clear irises, no real pupil there. And she manages to choke out in English through Krynos' tongue, what in the Phantom Queen are you doing? And she's going to try and murder this fucker.
Excellent. All right. Give me an attack roll.
Yep.
Claw.
Hold on, let me switch forms. And yeah, it's clawing time. That would be 2 successes.
All right. +1 on the
Do you
damage.
believe? Yep.
He
plus
does not have the
1.
wherewithal to be
Nope.
doing any dodging or anything.
That's real unfortunate for him. Granted, I'm not super buff, so even the +4, we'll see. So that is 5 successes, aggravated damage.
Okay, excellent. Let's see here. Where is my bat here? Because don't think he can even try and soak that. Yeah. Not
Do
humans.
I have his attention now?
Yes, you do. As you like slice into him.
Yep.
From like your claws rend and tear, and it's like slicing through paper. This guy is butter.
And Kira
he shrieks.
Kira is not a great combatant herself. So like it's not like a precision strike or anything. I think it's just pretty much just straight across the chest.
Yep. And there's a shriek, and there begins to be some yelling from out in the audience because someone just got clawed by a monster, and is quite loud about it. He's a screamer. And that is your turn. Excellent. Next up in the initiative is gonna be Dapple, and then Juniper, you're up next.
Okay.
So you've got only one wraith left on the Umbra side.
Yeah, we're gonna try and murder lead that one.
Okay. Go for it.
6 successes.
Excellent.
Oh no!
They are gonna try and dodge this. I don't think it's gonna be successful, but they're gonna try because it has one goal here, and it's not gonna make it, but it's gonna try its damnedest, damn it.
They just wanna not be dead.
Exactly. Want a second chance at life, the way one does. Yeah, that's just 2.
Reduces it down to 4 successes, so roll your damage with 3 extras.
Yep.
These poor fuckers.
Excellent. As you once again just whirl and eviscerate this thing, ectoplasm scatters, and it falls to the ground, deceased again.
What's going on over there?
We ran into the wizard, and I'm pretty certain that Ava's no longer home right now.
So that is an interesting question, because I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Does Kira have access to the totem phone?
A good question.
I feel like no, because it's the spiritual, like it's the person who has access.
Yeah,
But,
it's not like
yeah,
it's not like
it's
your
not like
body
a
has
physical
access. It's
effect.
right.
a
It's not a
connection.
physical
Spirit.
effect.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
If you somehow looped her in on the pact, that might change. But no.
No, Kira does not get to join the pact.
Oh, but I really want to. So yeah, no, it does not.
Okay.
She does not.
That's it for Nipple's turn.
All right. Juniper, what are you doing? There aren't any
they're-
more spirits on this side.
Yeah, they're gone. Okay. She'll just check on Dapple. Are you doing okay?
Didn't didn't sustain much damage.
Okay.
Translation didn't take any.
They're really ineffective.
Okay, over totem phone. Eileen, all the ones here are gone. Should we come back over to you guys?
He's actively trying to summon more. In case more show up, stay there for a minute. We'll
Okay.
take care of him.
All right.
Now I kind of wish I could, because then I said, "Don't worry, I've got it covered."
No, there's just screaming from your side.
Yeah, they're just screaming.
It's
she'll
just screaming.
wait then, since there aren't any more right now.
Okay, so you're staying put.
Yeah.
Excellent. Since you're not doing any active things here, let's have you do a. This is going to be wits because it's in the middle of a battle and it's more about like, can you keep track of everything that's going on? Wits and alertness to notice some stuff.
What is the difficulty on that?
Difficulty is 6. Relatively quiet over here now.
5 successes.
5 successes, damn.
Sheesh. Okay. So you're keeping your calm. You're keeping your center. This is good. This is what you were aimed. This is what you have always aimed for, and it's working. So you notice as the umbra right now is like the gauntlet is still like that sort of weird porous sensation of things could get through that we do not want to get through, which is disturbing. But you see in your periphery, and then as you like notice it further and kind of like look directly at it, you begin to see little weaver spirits, pattern spiders, with clicky sort of metallic legs and ending in small sharp points begin crawling from the crevices. The pigeons still seem very like there's a lot of shocked cooing going on of just sort of like, what is this? What's happening? That was very they're being very flustered by all of the violence and drama that has gone on thus far, and they don't seem particularly happy about there being more strange spirits. But you see, this is the point where you notice something that you didn't before because you aren't as familiar as Aoife with the sort of umbral landscape. You haven't spent that long, like hours of study of this place before. But you see as they begin to scuttle closer to some of the tears in the ground that these rays were coming, that have come through, it leaves like a little bit of a hole essentially, and they begin like rapidly applying plasters, essentially like concrete plasters to these holes. And you see similar looking things that look a little bit older, like maybe these pattern spiders have showed up to help repair this before. But that's what you notice from staying put and being aware enough. Meanwhile, it's the ghost's turn. There's 5 of them over there now, and their summoner is rather upset. He can't really give them directions, but they would like to do harm to people. Aoife, you're right in there. You're just right in there.
I am. At least I can soak now.
Yes, this is true. Because 3 of them are going after you. Eileen hasn't really done anything particularly.
You just
They
got
all
here.
gonna go. Yeah.
I mean, they can go after Eileen if they want.
They could. Yeah,
She
2
is a
of them are gonna
fresh-looking
go after you
body.
because they're aware. Like you're a type to them. Like you're not individual people. You're a weird monster, and there's 2 of you. So 2 of them are gonna go after Eileen. 3 of them after Aoife.
You've been profiled.
Exactly.
That's fine. They're about to find out I'm more than they thought I was anyway.
All right. Unfortunately, they're not smart enough to be able to pull together, so they're really bad at this still. But, they're going to try. So these are against Aoife. Ooh. I have a 3 and a 4 on those ones.
Okay, give me justice. All right, 3 and 4 that I need to soak.
There are 3 separate soak rolls. You have 1, 3, and 4, respectively.
Yes.
Okay. Those aren't too bad. Let's see how this goes. And it's egg, right? Aggravated damage?
Yes, correct.
Okay, first one, I soak 4. Second
Nice.
one, I soak nothing. Third one, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That was the worst timing for that.
Yeah, it was.
So I take
3 and 3.
none from the first.
6. Yeah.
You take 6 total.
So how you doing?
I am now. I am at incapacitated with aggravated damage.
Okay.
Means if you take any more, you die.
I believe. To be fair, I believe this is where I can try to.
Oh right, you get to roll to stay active.
Roll to stay active.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Okay, combat.
I think that's under rage in combat.
Blah blah blah. Soaking damage. Blah blah is knocked down. Automatic gunfire. Blah 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 blah. Dirty fighting. Special maneuvers. It's definitely not pack tactics. All right. Health. It's probably under health. That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Let's see. Applying damage, lethal damage, aggravated damage. You can channel her rage to remain active. If she doesn't, she dies. All right. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
I roll permanent rage difficulty 8.
Okay.
I will remind you that my rage is 2.
Oh boy.
I live.
You live.
Hey.
Okay. So channeling rage to remain active.
I heal 1. I heal 1.
That's good.
That's the good news. So I am now crippled in damage. But the other good news, which is also bad news, is that wound penalties mean nothing to me right now because I have entered a berserk frenzy.
Excellent. Beautiful. The screaming ancestor in your brain has fully taken over.
Uh-huh.
Is your gnosis higher than your rage?
Yes.
Okay, so you can tell friend from foe.
Correct. I do. No. My rage is 2. My gnosis is fucking 5.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Like, I put those points in that because third.
Yes. Absolutely. So
I'm up. It's fine. Everything's okay. This is not yet an Aiden situation. If I kill this guy quickly enough.
There we go.
Maybe we'll be okay.
Keep thinking positive thoughts. Meanwhile, there's another attack that's still happening because that
there's
was
two
just
coming at
one.
me.
So this is against our lovely Shadow Lord here. Do. A 3 and a 1.
Now, for reasons, I do get to soak this. I soak 1 from the first one. Wow, it would have been nice if those were backwards.
Yeah.
I take 2. Okay.
Yep. 2 aggravated as the screaming skeletons go for your face. All right, that's them. Now it's Eileen's turn.
As the skeletons launch attacks into her. Fucking hell! All right, let's put an end to this. Eileen just reaches into her bag, just opens the bag up, reaches inside, and pulls out a Montante greatsword. Which, for those who are unfamiliar, is the greatsword you think of when you think of a German Zweihander. It's the giant long one with the prongs in the midway up the blade. And she just sort of pulls that out of the bag. There was no way it would have fit in that bag naturally.
Mm-hmm. Is pulling something out of the bag a reflexive action?
That's a good question. I don't
want to be pedantic about this.
I think it's just a bag that is larger than normal on the inside.
Because drawing a weapon is considered an action in the action economy. So you would need to use rage to be able to attack on a same turn you drew a weapon.
Yeah. Which
yeah,
she can do.
The swag and the satchel do not say anything specific about.
Yeah, I would say it's an action then to draw something out.
She'll spend her 1 rage to also attack with it.
Okay, beautiful. Make me an attack roll. He can't soak aggravated damage. I don't think this does aggravated damage.
It does lethal, so he might not even be able to soak lethal if he's not any kind of supernaturally tough.
He is, because he is a mage. He's not a good mage. He's a very injured mage currently. We'll see if he's an alive mage.
Into this attack. Difficulty 5. That's 4 successes.
Nice.
And I'm assuming he's in his ritual to dodge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's screaming currently. That's really what he's doing.
That plus 3 extra successes. Have 5 lethal damage.
Okay. Yeah. That's gonna do it. Are we beheading? Are we stabbing? What are we?
Yeah, I think in this particular instance, it is she just pulls the Montante out of the bag, steps forward, and just the blade comes down and up in a diagonal arc that's just aimed at the nape of the neck to just sever his head from his shoulders.
Yep. Blood sprays. These curtains are not in a usable condition anymore. There is more screaming, however, as the arterial spray just sort of soaks through, and people are aware that blood has been spilled. It's a particular smell, especially the kinfolk. This is familiar, unfortunately, very unfortunately. They're screaming. But he is dead, which is very good because it was his turn next. Aoife, you're berserking.
First of all, I'm really angry that the man I was about to destroy is dead.
Yeah. The ghosts are still here.
I feel like 100%. I feel like there is a moment, and there is just this angry sort of snarl over in the sword wielding human looking thing's direction, but no attack. And yeah, I am going to I am going to spend my my one remaining rage point for two attacks.
Awesome.
And we're gonna goop one, hopefully goop one, and then goop the other.
Excellent. Go for it.
Goop the first. Hold on. I need to take out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You ignore wound
You're
penalties
ignoring
because
it.
you're raging.
Is there an easy way to
Just add a 5 die bonus.
Yeah, that's kind of the easiest way to do it. 2 successes.
Nice.
And I'm assuming they're not dodging because
no, they're a little bit in disarray now because the summoner is gone. They're still here.
So that one takes 5.
Ooh.
Is it still up?
Okay, I am gonna make a soak roll for it because they can soak aggravated damage. These are supernatural beings. Let's see. What would their soak be? It's based. Yeah, it'd be based on that. So they only have a die to this. They might make it. Stranger things have happened. Probably not though. No, that's a botch. I clicked that twice. Yeah, you fully just right
good.
through where its heart would be.
That means I can use my other attack on the other one, on another one.
Yep. I'm assuming you're going after ones on yourself.
Correct. It's just what's nearest.
Yep.
And second one, 3 successes to hit.
Excellent.
So 8 aggravated damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Even if he succeeds on that,
absolutely not.
Kira,
you
very angry.
Tear through 2 of these. You've still got 1 on you, but you are so beyond in your anger.
There is for those poor people in the front. But on the other side of the curtain, there is snarling and growling.
Oh yeah, the promised the promised mild chances of encountering some weird supernatural stuff is really beyond, as pink ectoplasm gets just sort of flung bodily through the curtain at this point from your rage, and there's more screaming.
No one mentioned the splash zone.
Exactly. All right, Dapple, you're up.
I mean, he did kind of warn the people in the front row about supernatural things.
He tried.
As far as the authorities are concerned, a wild animal got loose backstage.
Yeah. Is there anything happening over on this side? Have any other wraiths shown up, or
no?
Right. After her turn, I should have specified because she would be saying this over the totem phone. After she killed the spellcaster, she would say, "Summoner's dead. When you get a chance, I need the 2 of you to try and do crowd control."
Okay.
All right, I'll try and go back on the other side.
All right. Make a
Fortunately,
gauntlet
I believe
check.
getting back to the real is much easier.
Yeah, it is easier right now because of the weakening of the gauntlet. It is down to it hasn't even been around since he's dead. So it's down to a 6. Oh yeah. You step sideways back into the real. Carnage. Just a lot of sort of viscera carnage and also ectoplasm carnage.
So a black and white Krynos wolf steps out of nowhere and just looks at the carnage round.
There's 3 ghosts still on this side. 2 on Eileen, 1 on a very badly injured, strange looking Aoife.
Let's let's go. Let's go off for the one on Aoife. Yeah.
Okay.
Claw. Oof.
Does hit.
Are they attempting to dodge or?
No. There's once it gets to their turn, they can have enough wherewithal to dodge and try and do some stuff, but not right now.
Still
Okay.
5 aggravated.
Alrighty, let's see here. A 4. That doesn't. What would there be? They've got.
Might this be the one that got caught? That got slightly injured before it came through. Because one of them.
You know what? Yeah, I have not been keeping track of that super close. I like that idea. Yeah, you tear through this thing. You can feel it's not as this one was already weakened. As you basically just like peel it bodily off. This one was like trying to like cling on to Aoife, and you just sort of like delicately just sort of peel it off and then peel it apart into pieces. With your claws, violently.
A quick assessment. How does Aoife look like injury-wise?
Bad. I'm pretty certain.
Not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this damage specifically looks like.
It's not super. It wouldn't be like super visible because this is like their blast. It's more like your core is rattled. I would say she's looking like kind of like the equivalent to like someone who has grabbed onto electricity a little bit. So not a super common thing that you would have seen before.
Right.
But like she looks visibly rattled. She's moving sluggishly. She's very like probably like kind of dazed looking more than physically injured as much.
Something's wrong with Aoife.
Yeah, she's in the midst of a rage because she almost got smacked down by these ghosts.
It's all for her.
All right, and now it is Juniper's turn. Are you going to stay over here or step sideways?
First, she is going to switch back to Hamid form.
Okay.
Now that will require either a roll or a spent rage point because your native form is Metis.
Yes.
Okay. I will just spend a rage on that.
Okay.
And then
shrink back down.
Yes, and then I'm going to step sideways.
All righty. Make a gnosis roll, difficulty 6 still. Because the gauntlet's all sort of wibbly right now.
2 successes.
Yep. Very easily step sideways. You can feel as your footsteps leave that strange sidestep from reality. Pattern spiders walk into your footsteps. But you step through and you see the scene before you. There are 2 ghosts remaining. Both of them on Eileen, who is uninjured, I believe.
Slightly injured.
Slightly injured.
Okay,
But I believe stepping sideways would be an action. Would it?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, unless you want to spend
In fact, how
rage
many
to-
successes did you get?
2.
So it how quickly you step across depends.
Thank you. It's a good point.
And at 2 successes,
It takes about 30 seconds.
yeah. So you're it's gonna take you.
Okay, so you're in
Little
the
bit to get
process
there.
of stepping
Yeah.
through. Meanwhile, it is, you know what? The ghosts are gonna have a turn. There's 2 of them. Things have not gone great. Their caster is gone, their summoner. They are going to attempt to flee. So Eileen, the 2 ghosts that were clawing at you, you could feel like that sort of energy drain, sort of buffeting of your senses, leave as these 2 forms streak away in opposite directions. They are trying to run. They're not super fast because they're not very strong.
What's the
But-
rate of regeneration?
For you, oh, that's a good question. Yes, you all do that. It's a good point. Where is that again?
Generally, with regeneration, you can't really do it in combat unless
Okay.
it's a certain type of damage, and you have to make a roll at the end of your turn
Got it.
to heal it. Otherwise, it doesn't. You can't heal.
Generating damage when engaged in a stressful or physical activity is harder for a werewolf player. Rolls stamina, diff 8 each turn. Rolls reflexive, so it does not involve splitting your dice before spending rage. Success means the werewolf heals as normal. Failure means they heal no damage. Botch indicates the werewolf cannot regenerate until they've had a chance to rest.
And it
Guru
should
re-
be noted, we only
Guru
heal
cannot regenerate
at-
aggravated damage with the same speed. They heal 1 level of aggravated damage each day.
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and you've been taking aggravated damage from these.
But they do
Cookies.
heal.
They do.
They heal.
They do potentially
they
heal.
regenerate 1 level of bashing or lethal damage every turn.
Mm.
Correct.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
You still have to make that roll
In combat, you make
in
that roll.
combat.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you.
Yep.
But they are running. Eileen, it's your turn again. Both of these
Sure.
spirits are fleeing. They're going in opposite directions from each other.
Eileen has to make a very split-second decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just looks at Aoife and points at the nearest one to Aoife and says, kill. And then looks at Juniper and says, or at Dapple and says, I need you to get the other one. And then is going to take the third option and deal with the crowd.
Okay.
Hulk smash.
So you're dealing with the crowd.
First up, she's going to roll charisma and subterfuge to try and activate persuasion.
Okay.
I need this to work, so I'm gonna put a willpower in it.
Alrighty.
The good thing I spent a lot of freebie points on making sure I had a lot of willpower. Okay, success. So with persuasion active, as I pull up my gifts, difficulty for all social rolls I make for the scene are reduced by 1, and successful rolls have uncommonly strong impact, such as convincing an addict to give up like a drug addiction or convincing people to turn aside long-held beliefs.
Got it. Okay.
So what she's going to do is walk outside with persuasion active and like basically tell the crowd, everyone, I need people to disperse and make their way back home. There's been a wild animal that's gotten loose backstage. People have been injured. I need people to get out of here and get away from this situation, please.
Alrighty. We are still going to need a roll for that, though, because there is blood spatter.
Manipulation subterfuge.
Yes. Actually, I'm going to go with a leadership. This is it's not so much the like being able to lie about this, it's the like telling people what to do in this situation here. Like there's panic, and the consequences would less be like people not believing there's a wild animal, but more like people panicking or deciding to do something you don't want them to do.
Okay.
Feels
Difficulty.
like a leadership.
Difficulty.
Difficulty is 7. That feels good. There's a lot of screaming.
Reduced by 1 for
Yeah.
persuasion to 6.
6. Go for it.
3 successes.
All right.
And persuasion has uncommonly strong impact.
All right, so bumping that up to a 4-ish. As you like reappear from the other side of this curtain covering the backstage, there was screaming, there was yelling, there's a little bit of a like panic crush in especially like you can kind of hear your whisper thing would still be active, actually. So you can hear like yelling, basically. Like I guess it's very loud in your head right now. As especially up on the balcony, there's not. Victorian theaters don't have safety features. There's a panic crush happening as people are trying to flee from the balcony, and there's only one exit. It
Good,
goes
less witnesses.
silent as you kind of shout, and the force of your voice and like that guru presence sort of gets everyone to pay attention to you, and people begin to move in a more orderly fashion. You can see you had like noticed and pointed out to each other some of the other the kindred in the crowd. They are beginning to sort of like direct people and like letting the mundane humans, like totally normal people, kind of going ahead and helping to
kinfolk know what it means when a guru says a wild animal got loose.
Yeah. They're staying put right now, but you've gotten everyone else to make an orderly exit quickly. And there's a lot of sort of beginning speculation about wild animals that will, of course, develop later on. But mostly they're just following orders right now. Very good. That is it for your turn. Aoife, you were given a directive.
I sure was.
Fortunately, it's directly in line with your berserk. It's the nearest thing, and she told you to kill it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like, if it wasn't in the middle of berserk frenzy, I feel like the person driving would be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But right now we are angry, so we agree.
Beautiful thing.
And we will murder.
All right.
4 successes.
Beautiful. It is going to try and dodge now,
okay,
because they can do that.
Right. No, that's legit.
Let's see here. Nope. Absolutely not.
That is super unfortunate for that dead person. 7 aggravated damage.
Oh, yeah. You tear through this thing like paper. As it tries to flee, you sort of like catch, pull closer, bite. And yeah, that's very satisfying.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah, it tastes bad. But it's dead. Beautiful. Dapple, you're up.
I'm gonna go for another claw attack.
Alrighty. Oop, one success. Let's see if it can dodge, because it's gonna try. Ooh, makes it. So you try and claw that thing, and it weaves out of the way. Too fast for you.
The Dapple's apparently running out of steam.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us. Okay, it's not getting away.
Juniper.
is still transitioning.
Is she?
Is still
moving?
still trying to get step through.
Yep.
Ghost is going to continue to run, and they're not super fast, but there's a lot of people in here, and it can go through walls.
Oh no.
So the ghost vanishes through like the wooden wall in front of you, Dapple, and you there's like a crowd of people around. You do not know where it has gone to. Because one ghosts get away.
It's unfortunate.
And I think that's where we're gonna drop out of the initiative.
To be clear, just to check.
Uh-huh.
Now it went through the wall. Is this still sort of in the back where people can't see? Like, did it go through a sidewall, or did it like go through into the main auditorium area?
No, it was in. Oh, that's a good question. It had been kind of in the back area. It would go through a side like wall. It's trying to flee as fast as possible.
I would like to try. I don't think it'll work.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever seen a Kool-Aid commercial?
Yes. You want to go
Kool-Aid
through the wall? Alrighty. Yes, absolutely. I love this.
I am berserk rage.
Yeah, I love this for you.
It goes through the wall. Dapple's like, oh, giant Garou just rushes past.
I love it. I love it. This is going to be an strength athletics to get through a wall.
Well, I have strength.
Oh yeah, I for sure. Difficulty is this is a theater, but it's like down on its luck theater. It's a difficulty 6 standard. And you're not particularly trying to be careful. So
yeah, not really.
Strength.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, it was difficulty
6.
6, okay.
Yeah. Don't botch on this. Hey.
Oh, hold on. I gotta get get those wounds out.
Still one.
Hey, all right.
I
Kool-Aid man.
Smashing through.
Excellent. Do you still have a rage to spend to get another attack?
I don't.
Okay.
It's still gonna get away, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't move fast. Their only advantage is moving through walls.
Yes, that is true.
So once you've broken through the wall, it's not that far away.
Yeah, I will give you another attack. This is definitely breaking the veil. Because you're still in... Like, you haven't shifted.
No, I get it. Like
Kool-Aid man through a wall and are attacking a ghost.
Ava is going to be fucking mortified.
To be fair, Eileen planted the seed of like it's the wild animal, so once the delirium sets in and people can't remember everything, that's what they're gonna remember is there was a wild animal loose and it was freaky.
One success.
All right, it's gonna try and dodge.
Well, it did already try and dodge Dapple's attack.
That's true. That is true. And it was like its turn to kind of like run, like it's dashing.
Right.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay.
Let's see how much damage you do. This one was not injured.
Only 3.
Okay.
It will get a reminder. Don't do this again.
Yeah.
Learn your goddamn lesson.
Yeah, it continues limping on, but like you hear like a little bit of a moan from this thing as it moans in pain. And
I roar at it as it runs away.
Excellent. They're screaming around you.
I don't care yet.
Yep. The panic level on this side of the theater is high. Despite speeches, there's only so much you can do.
I know. There's only so much I can do when Krynos breaks down a fucking wall.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to end for the night. As
I will make one final note that after the crowd started moving, Eileen disappeared back behind the curtain to put the Montante back in the bag so that there wasn't just a great sword lying around.
And the curtain falls, covered in ectoplasm and blood and all sorts of other things. It's really
perfect.
Another lovely theater performance. Thank you for joining us. See you all next week. Bye.